2014, we'll probably agree that the world as we know it today will not be the same then.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Now, that does not necessarily, it may be worse, it may be better, but it's definitely going to be different. I mean, 9/11 occurred only 5 years ago, and yet I've lived long enough. Believe me, the United States, as it was in 1999, we're in a whole new world. We're in a different place now. This is not the same country. We're not operating the same. We don't feel the same. We're not in, it's just all different.
So we have to, as we do, I guess, in that sense, take back the media. And I just want to mention, or get your take.
That's true. We definitely have to get control of the media so that all aspects of news and information becomes available to all people.
Yeah.
It's there now, actually, but if you have to work at it. Okay.
Yeah.
Henry, just think back, say, 10 years ago, and I don't know how old you are, but hopefully 10 years ago you were essentially an adult, right?
No, I'm 27, so 17 is not an adult.
Well, you would have been 17.
Yeah.
And that's, for all practical purposes, an adult.
All right. Okay.
So,
sure.
17, I think you'll agree, you are not the same person today that you were when you were 17, are you?
No, of course
no,
not.
You know more, you think about different things, you understand things better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in another 10 years, we're going to look back and we're going to realize that we are not the same person as we are now.
Exactly.
So everything changes, and the trick is to see that you hold on to the things that are meaningful and true and let go of the things that are false and misleading and all like that, and so that as you change for the better.
Yeah. So one idea I came to think about was regarding that we have been able to use the internet in these last few years now as an incredible tool to communicate so much of this kind of information here, but there have been hints about, the censorship of internet and things like Internet 2. Have you heard about this?
Oh yes, I'm well aware of all this, and see, that's again, they've got to do something to keep us from freely communicating with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you have knowledge, and knowledge brings power, and if the people gain power, then that means that the ruling elites are going to lose power. And they can't allow that. And, of course, there'll be every excuse in the world. I can almost tell you right now, it'll be to save the children.
Yeah.
Okay? Got to save the children. And protect the children. And then protect the innocent.
Yeah.
And then to protect us against terrorists. They'll have every excuse in the world.
Yeah.
But the main thing is they've got to stop us from communicating with each other, because the one secret that we have over and above the secret societies is that there are more of us than there are of them. And we're getting smarter all the time. And I think they know this, and I think that's why they're in this rush to gain complete control over the world.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. And Jim, this has been an excellent interview, and I certainly would want to have you back sometime in the future if that's possible. And of course, in the last few minutes here, basically the floor is open if there's something you'd like to talk about, or if you just want to, mention how to get your books and your website again and so forth. Well, again, to put in a crass commercial plug. Yeah, sure. My books are available at any bookstore. They can probably order them. There are UK editions, I think, of almost all my books. You can order off of Amazon.com. I think you mentioned earlier there's an Amazon.com UK. Yeah. That you could probably get, or you can go to my website, jimmars.com, JIMMARRS.com. Excellent. And I keep trying to post articles of interest that you probably won't see in the mainstream American media. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, a lot of the things I end up posting come out of Europe. Oh, really? Yeah. So it's kind of a strange thing, because over here, we have the First Amendment that guarantees us freedom of press
And we like to say that we have this free, unfettered, and watchdog media, and yet that it's under total control of 4 or 5 corporations.
Exactly.
And we seem to be getting less information than the Europeans.
Right.
By the way, the line over here is that freedom of the press belongs to the guy that owns the press.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing now, right? We are, as you say, we're down to, what is it, 5 big corporations, basically?
Yeah, just a handful.
Oh my
And
God.
see, I was real concerned about 10 years ago because what had been, see, when I was a young man, every major city in the United States had at least 2, sometimes 3 and 4 different newspapers, and 3 or 4 TV stations, and a dozen radio stations. And if one was kind of under control and wouldn't reveal a story, then the others would. But now it's all devolved down to every major city basically has one large newspaper. Those newspapers are owned by multinational corporations, and same way with the TV networks. For example, NBC is owned by General Electric. NBC Television is just one, probably not so profitable branch of their huge multinational conglomerate. Where they really make their money is off of their defense contracts. So is it really in the best interest of NBC as a wholly owned subsidiary of General Electric to tell the truth about Iraq?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and this here is the I think the root of the problem in that sense, because everything is owned by one single point, or if it is a corporation basically, and I guess according to the definition that I recently heard, I guess corporatism is the equivalent to fascism. Isn't that correct?
Well, that's what Mussolini said. Mussolini, who's kind of credited with coining the term fascism, because in fact they were named after his black-shirted fascistas. He said that's really not the correct term. The correct term should be corporatism.
Yeah.
Okay, the combined power of corporations in the state, which is the basic definition of fascism.
Yeah.
And when you look at the United States today, what do you see? You see the combined power of corporate America and the government.
Yeah.
Fueled by nationalism. And by the way, think about this. The only difference in what's happening in America today with what happened in Germany in the 1930s and in Italy in the 1920s is that under fascist Italy and Nazi Germany, the state gained control over the corporations and merged them to create a fascist state. In modern America, the corporations have gained control over the state.
Yeah.
But the end result's the same.
Exactly. It's crazy. Yeah, so there we go. I mean, that's what we have to do: stay informed, stay focused, and really, to
stay optimistic.
Yeah, exactly. Stay optimistic to know what's going on. So everybody head on over to jimmars.com and check out his books and check out his website with all his excellent writing over there. So again, Jim, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Hendrik.
Thank you.